Yo, what is up everyone? So today I'm going to show you how I created 3 different variations for a React Navbar. So I'm going to start off with the first design, and then from there I'll refactor the code to show you the 2 additional ways to create it as well. And this is a super simple basic Navbar, so you can get fancy with this, customize, refactor the code, and make it fit to whatever you're trying to make. But essentially, let me just show you what I got so far. And this is the first version, and basically I'm on the home page right now. Click on the about, it highlights it, and then we're using React Router. It has the active class, and then services, etc., etc. And then ideally this would be the content that you show up on your page. And then if I were to just shrink this into mobile, then you'd have the hamburger menu. Now for this video, I'm only gonna focus on the actual Navbar template design, because I made a bunch of websites before with the thing, but pretty much this is like a little sidebar drop down. Actually it's technically drop down at this point. This is another website I made with a full tutorial. So if you want to check this video out on how to add like the little drop down component, then check out the link in the bio and I'll put that there. And this is like a smooth scroll website too, so like you can see all this fancy effects here. But that's for a that's my other video, so if you guys want to check that out. But if not, this is going to be the first design I'm going to show you first, and then I'll show you the 2 additional designs right after. So without further ado, let's hop into VS Code and let me show you how I made this. All right, so here I am on my terminal. So just go ahead, open up your terminal, and then just go ahead and type in npx and then space create dash react dash app, and then the name for this project, let's just say React Navbar, and then dash, let's say 3, and then press enter. And then once that decides to finish uploading, we can go ahead and navigate into the project and then open this up. So I'll see you once this gets completed. All right, so it's completed now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cd into my project. So I'm gonna say cd react dash navbar dash 3. And then before I do yarn start, also if you don't have yarn, you just have npm, so you just say whatever that one says. But before I do that, I'm gonna say code dot, and this is going to automatically open up VS Code if you have it set up. If you don't, then just quick Google search, and it's fairly simple to set up, and then you're pretty much on VS Code. If not, just go ahead and open it up yourself. And then since we're already here, I can just do command, it's either command backtick, actually click sure I'm here, wait, control backtick or command J, my bad. So command J or control backtick to open up the terminal. And then here you can run, you say npm start or yarn start if you have yarn. And I'll run this, and every time it says this, so I just have to copy this code if you have this error. If you don't, it should just open up for you. But I'm gonna create a new file in the root, call this .env, paste this code here, and then simply I'll press the up arrow, yarn start again, and currently have it running, so I'm just gonna press yes. And voila, we have the React app up. So everything is working fine. So let me just shrink this over here. Let me close this out here and just shrink this back. And I can go ahead, let me just exit off this one for now. So here's the SRC, so let me get off this really quick. And let me just delete the index.css. I'm not gonna use that for this one. And then index.js, we can just delete it here. I'm gonna leave everything else for now because I don't have to worry about it. But pretty much, let's go ahead and let's just create our components. AKA, this is gonna be a navbar. So I'm gonna go to SRC, right click, hit new folder, and just type in components. And then in here, let's do a new folder here. Let me just call this navbar. And then in the navbar folder, let's just do index.js. And then navbar folder, right click again, and then I'm using stock components for this, so you can use the 2 or you can refactor it to like just regular CSS. But I'm just gonna call this navbar elements.js right here. And pretty much if I go into the index.js, if you have these snippets, so if you type in ES7, you can see here, download this one, ES7 React. If not, I mean, if you like typing out everything line by line, then you don't have to, but this is gonna save you a lot of struggle. And then in here, you can just type in RAFCE, enter, and boom, we have it already created with that little template. Then I can just delete this word index and just call this navbar. And then in here, I can just say h1, say navbar here, save it, and then app.js, let me get rid of this. Let's just return the navbar. And a little cool trick, if I do control space, it shows the navbar, and I press enter, it auto imports it. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. If it doesn't, you can try restarting your code editor. But you can see here that it's showing, and I can get rid of this logo. I don't have that here. So technically we can delete this logo.svg file too. And then perfect, everything's good. So let me just get rid of this app div and let's just turn it into a fragment. So you can just get rid of this, save it. And then we can go to app.css, Command A, erase it all. And now we're pretty much set to go. So let's just go ahead and let me install some things really quick. So let me open up my terminal again. And then or you could just add the plus sign here. And let me just say yarn add. So if you don't have yarn, you just do npm, you could do npm I or just npm install and then do whatever I type after. So we can do, let's see, styled dash components. And then after that, let's do yarn add, or you say again npm if you have that. And let's do react dash router dash dom. And then also let's press space. Let's do react dash icons. And for now, let's just do these for now. And then if we need anything else, I'll just install them after. And then we go to our package.json. We can see we got stock components, router dom, and icons. All right, so it's good to see you got those. So now let's just go ahead and let's start creating the nav. So let's see. First thing I want to do is turn these divs to fragment. Next, I want to get rid of this h1. So again, I'm in the index.js of the navbar, by the way. And then I'm going to, let me close that terminal real quick. Let me call this one the nav. So this is stock component. So this isn't like a nav tag. This is just, you'll see if you haven't done stock components before, but essentially here's the nav. And then let's do a nav link. So I'm naming these again. This is what I named them. And once I do the stock components, you'll see it. So I'm gonna say this is going to be essentially a React nav link. So it's different from just a regular React router link because the nav link you can add like active classes and a bunch of extra stuff that the normal link you wouldn't have. You have to do extra code to do the same thing. So to the path for React router, you have to say to instead of, it's basically think of an a tag href except it's React router, so it's a to. And then in here would be essentially the logo. So for now, this is gonna be an image tag, but let me just do image. As I see, there's nothing there yet because we have to actually, you would ideally put your logo here. But if you don't have a logo, I mean, you could just straight up say, let's just do h1 for now. Because if you don't have an image, it's gonna be a pain trying to follow along. So nav links there. And then under the nav link, I'm gonna have the bars. And this is just gonna be like the little hamburger menu there. And then under the bars, I'm gonna have the nav menu. And this is essentially just a div I'm wrapping my my links around. So this is like a super concise way I made this. I'm sure there's much say different or fancier ways to create your nav bar, but this is like the way to do it with the least amount of code, so you guys can actually see more of the styling aspect instead of like me doing all this extra stuff. And then here, this is just gonna be a nav link, and it's gonna say to equals to whatever your route would be. So this is the about page. And then for nav link, so if you look up React router nav link, you'll notice they have a like active class thing. So you just type for this one, I'm gonna say active style, and this is for stock components. If you have like regular like CSS or Sass, you'd have to like put the name you call it, but I'm doing it this way because it's easier. And then I'm just gonna put about, and then pretty much after that it's just a nav btn. And then you just copy and paste your link. So let me just copy these really quick. And it's like the most, I'll say, basic nav you'll ever see in your life. Super easy actually to make. So let's do services here. And then let's see, let's do contact us and then sign up. And then here, let me just change this really quick. So services, let's see, what is this? Contact. I'll put contact dash us, and then here would just be, let's do sign dash up. Now underneath the nav menu, press enter. And by the way, if you're like looking at my code editor, you're like, whoa, what kind of extensions I got? I just made a video recently with the extensions as well. So if you guys want to check that out, you can too. But let's see, I have nav btn. So this is just like a div wrapping the button. And then let me just call this one nav btn link 2 is equal to /sign in. And then simply just say sign in. So if I save this right now, we're gonna get a bunch of errors, which I like because stock components actually shows us all this. So now what we can do is we can go into our navbar elements file, and then when I go to here, we have to actually import some stuff. First thing we need to import is styled from styled components. And then also I want to import nav link from React Navbar. So I'm gonna say import, and I'm gonna do curly braces, and I just named this link for short. So cool trick to name something like an alias if you want to use it for stock components. Because if I were to do like nav link, it's not gonna work. So I have to say import nav link as, and I can name this, you know, like tacos if I wanted to, but I'm gonna obviously name it something that makes sense. So link from React-router DOM. And then also we did install React icons. If you never used it, just it's pretty much, you don't have to do any like fun awesome CDN like copying pasting. All you have to do is just simply add the icon you want. So if I say import FA bars, which is the little hamburger menu icon you saw, from React-icons, and then whatever the first two letters are, you would put /FA. So they have a bunch of different icons, but I'm using just this one for this. And then now we can go ahead and start actually styling. So I'm gonna say, because we have this in a different file from the actual index.js file, we actually have to export these. So I'm gonna say export const, and then this is the name which you named it. So this is, I'm calling it nav, because I did, that's why I have it here. That's called nav. And then it's gonna set that equal to styled sty.nav. So this again, now this is the actual tag name now. And then backtick. And then inside these backtick, this is where we're at our style. So if you already know stock components, then you already know the drill. But in case you're like brand new, like, whoa, this is what I'm doing. So then now let's do background to be #000. So just by for now. Height, I'm gonna set a fixed height to be 80 pixels. Display, now we're gonna do display flex. Justify content, essentially space between. So this makes it all centered. And the outer tags are gonna essentially push to the side. And then let's do padding. I'm gonna do 0.5 rem. And then this little trick to, depending on the screen, this will just always be this essential size, so that I don't have to wrap it like in the container div. So essentially I'm gonna just say calc 100 viewport width minus, this is the max width I want the essentially navbar's content to span, so 1000 pixels. And then what I'm gonna do is actually go outside this, divide this by 2, and then semicolon. Now I forgot to add a parenthesis right here in front of the calc, so essentially just make sure it's parenthesis, double parenthesis, and then like this. So you can pause the screen in case you see like any syntax errors. But then after, let me just do C index of 10, or you could put this like 100 if you want to. But ideally this is just so that it's above majority of the content. Now if you did like, you followed the other video with the side or the drop down menu, then you want that to be like Z index of like 1,000,000, or you know, like 999, so that it's above everything else. But that's just for another video if you want to check it out. So that's the first one. Now let's finish and let's do the nav links now. So let's say export const nav link equal to styled. And since this isn't like a normal thing, you actually have to put in link, so the name of what you're importing. And then I'm gonna put backticks here. So again, this is the React Router link right there, but it's a nav link. It's not a regular React Router link. I just named it link. If I wanted to name, I could technically just erase this link and just put nav link, but then I have to change the name to like nav links, or can't be the exact same for that. And then let me just say color hashtag FFF. So the text is white, display. We're gonna flex these. Align items center. Let's see what we got. Text decoration to be none. Padding. Oh, what? Adding. What is that? And then 0 on RAM. Let's see. We got height. Let me just put 100%. And then cursor pointer. And now here's a cool trick with stock components. So I can just do the and dot active, and this automatically triggers it. So whenever I click on it, it automatically knows like, hey, this is the active class right there. Even though it says like active style, like it knows. So they can just say color. I just want to change the color to like, let's see, 15 CDFC. And then let's go ahead and let's add some more style. So this is actually super short in terms of styling. So this video just won't be too crazy, but let's do export const bars equal to styled. Now this is the hamburger menu. So what we're actually styling is the React icons, which is the FA bars icon. So backticks here. And for display none, because currently I don't want it to show if it's on desktop view, but I want the color to be FFF. Now you could do like the icon, like context provider, where you can like pass in properties to like every icon, but since this is like literally the only icon, I just did it here. And why did I get out of there? So go back into it, and then with stock components, you can straight up do it like inside of it. So it's kind of like Sass, but just like not exactly the same. But here, the difference too is you can add like JavaScript stuff too with stock components. But this one's I didn't do it for this example. This is just more of the design part. I'm gonna say add media screen and then parentheses max dash width, and let's do 760 pixels. And I hate this thing keeps popping up, but all right. So let's do display block, and then position colon absolutes. Let's do top 0, right 0, transform to be translate, and I want to be minus 100% by 75%. And then just font size, I'll do 1.8 rem, and then just cursor pointer. So now let's go underneath this, and let's see what we got. We got the nav menu, and then just the button and link, so it should be done soon. So let's do export const nav menu equals to style.div with the backticks. And I'm gonna say display flex. And by the way, if you're watching this and you're like, what if I want to make a different variation? I'd make sure you're following along everything, because the different variations are just minor tweaks in the code. So if you don't have this code set up already, it's going to be a pain to try to like refactor it. But just in case you're like, hey, I don't care about the first variation, but I want like the second or third, just note that you'd have to have this code first before you can refactor it. And then let's do align dash items, see center, margin dash right. What we can do, I'm gonna do negative 24 pixels, and you'll see why, because the button has like a margin on the other side of it, so like the centering of the nav links, it just looks off to me. So again, you don't have to have that, but I just did it. And then at media screen, not screen, and max width, let's do what, 78 pixels, and I just want to display none. So the nav menu will disappear, aka the logo on the hamburger menu is the only one left. And then let's do export const nav btn equals to style.nav with the backticks. I'm gonna say display flex, align items center, and then margin dash right 24 pixels. And I keep forgetting to add the media query, so let me do at media screen and max width, let's do what, 78 pixels, and display none. So the button is going to disappear as well. And then this should be, yeah, this is our last stock component. So this is fairly quick, nothing too long. And then let's do export const nav btn link equals to styled parentheses, and this again, this is the same link. And then just backticks here. Border radius is 4 pixels. Background is hashtag 256 C1. Padding will be 10 pixels by 22 pixels. Color hashtag FFF. Border is none. The outline is none. And cursor pointer. And transition. I just have a little hover effect on it, so I can say all 0.2 S. Ease in out, and then simply text decoration will be, what is this, decoration none. So let me press enter, scroll up so you can see, and then just simply and colon hover. So if you want to add like a little hover effect on your code with stock components, you do like that, and then transition. I mean, you can just copy this right here. The reason I'm copying both, you'll see if I once we're done with this. Let's do background. Hashtag FFF and color was that 010606. Save this here, and I saved it, but yet nothing happened. So what we're gonna do is go back to index.js, and we just have to import all this. So I can say the top imports curly brace. So we got nav link, we got bars, and then we got nav menu, nav link, nav btn, and then nav btn link, and it's coming from /navbar elements. Save this, and it's already been declared. Oh, looks like I run it twice, and now let's save, and it's loading, and perfect. So now what we need to do is go command B back. Again, this is how I close the thing. And I need to go to app.js, and quick little fix. I just need to wrap everything around in router. And let me do this here too. And then all I have to do is import this at the top. So just import, and I'm doing browser, router, not rotor, route. Can you spell or use? Yeah, router as router from React router DOM. So this should work now, and voila, we have our beautiful nav. But just kidding. So now what we need to do is at least we can see everything works, and you can see like the active part is there. But now let me just go and what happened. So I'm gonna do is go to app.css, and I have like a default Google font. You guys don't have to copy this, but I'm just do little asterisk symbol for now, and let's just say font family is Sora, comma sans serif. And what happened? Why is that a semicolon here? And then let's just do box sizing, border box, margin 0, padding 0. If I save this right now, the font's not the actual one. But I got this from Google. Again, you don't have to do this, but I'm just going to import the link here. And you guys can pause and copy this. If not, it really doesn't matter. This is just like filler design. But pretty much now you can see it looks like this. And the thing is, I need to actually implement the routes so that you can see it working. And then after I do that, then I'll refactor all the code and show you the alternative variation. So let's do the routes now. So what I'm going to do, go under my navbar. I'm just going to pass in the switch tag right there, and then in here I'm going to have my routes. So routes, and also I forgot to create the pages, so we'll do that in a second. So route first, the path is the home. We got to put exact. If you don't put exact, you're going to go crazy because your routes aren't going to work, because it's going to think the slash is in everything. And then for component, we're just going to render the home, and then I'll just subclose that. So I'm going to save that here, gonna have an error because now we have to import switch as well as routes. Save that there. Home is not defined. So let's actually go to SRC, right click, do new folder, call this pages, and then simply do new file and just call this index.js, refac, press tab, change that to home, go inside, just do h1 of home. I don't know why there's a second part doing this. And then you don't have to do this, but I just did it to style it. I'm just doing inline right now to save some time. So I'm gonna say style equals curly brace, curly brace, display colon flex, and then let's do justify content. So it's camel case, uppercase C, center. Let's see, align, not content. Let's do align items, center, and then let's do height of 90 viewport height. And it still doesn't work because we're gonna go back to app.js now and import home from /pages. So now click here, boom. Now we're on home because essentially the logo, and we're there. And if I go to about, it disappears. So right now the route, everything is perfect. I'll just have to create another page really quick on the pages and just do about.js. And let me just copy this from index.js and paste this here. And then we'll highlight this word and then Command D 3 times to highlight all of it and just change it to about. And now let me test this. And oh yeah, I forgot to import this here. So let's go back to app.js. I'll do Shift Alt down, add about to this. I don't have to have exact for this one, and then change this to about. Then copy that down. This should be /about, not yet. And then this should be about here. So perfect. Okay, so now you can see home. Now again, you would just rinse and repeat, copy the same thing for like the other ones, but save some time, I'll keep it out. But now you can see this is logo number 1. So let me actually I'm gonna copy in my images because I already have a logo, so just so you can save some time. And then here, ideally, I would let me just paste this one in here. You can just watch for now what I'm doing, but essentially the thing is, if you try to import like a normal image, it's not gonna work. You have to do curly brace and then require this, and then do .. We gotta go to our images / logo .svg, and then the alt, I'm just gonna put logo. So again, if you have an image, this is how you do it. If you don't, then you can just leave the text for now. But ideally, you can see it's like this, and then we can shrink it here. And then last thing I remember when I said, why do we have the double transitions on the nav btn, it's the button? Because it has like that ease in, out, fade. If you take it off, it's gonna essentially, if you don't put it here, and command space this, and see how like it's instantaneous? It's hard to tell, but like if this was a longer transition, you'd notice. But then when you put it on, it's like nice and smooth. So that's just a little just quick fun fact in case you didn't know. But here's the first variation. So now let me show you how to essentially make the another variation and the third one. So here's the main type, variation 1, centered with the buttons over here. So let's go ahead and let me show you variation 2. So let me go to index.js and navbar. And pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this nav btn, Command C, and then just paste this under the nav link and paste it here. And then I'm going to comment this out, these nav btn with btn link, save this here. And then if I go back, you're going to be like, yo, what is this? And then all we need to do now is pretty much go to the navbar elements, add some like minor tweaks. So for the let's see, on the nav menu right here, I'm going to essentially do margin -right of 24 pixels. And then let me actually leave a comment so I can say like second nav. Comment this out really quick. And then also before I save, I'm gonna go down to the let's see, nav btn link, and then let's just do a margin -left of 24 pixels. So here, let me do like this. Second nav. Save it here. So now you can see it looks much more positioned, or just looks cleaner there. And then you shrink it out, and boom. So this is nav variation number 2. So you can see how super simple and easy that was, the way I have it set up. So if you're like, hey, I don't like the way my nav looks, you can always play around like this, and then you just switch around. So this is the second variation, and this is the one I use a lot. But let's do the third one. The third one's one I haven't actually utilized really ever in my videos, but pretty much it's like putting the text here and having the nav button on this side. But I figured I'd show you guys anyway. So let me go and let me comment this out. So second nav comment out, and then let me comment this out here. And let me save this now. Let me go back to the index.js. We're gonna have to comment this line out here. So let me just make sure people know. So it's second nav. And then we're gonna comment this back out. So now I'll save it here. And essentially we have like the original one, except now what we're gonna do is go to the let's go to the navbar elements now, and then pretty much all we need to do is, let me go under z index. So the top of the nav, let me comment, say third nav. By the way, if you're like, how do I comment, it's just command /. And this one is going to be justify content of flex-start. And then I'm going to simply uncomment this here. Now if I save this, watch what happens. Everything goes with it. You're like, nah, I don't want this. I want the button to be all the way on the end. So pretty much now what we need to do is, let me scroll, make sure. We got to go to the nav menu. It's right here. I'm going to go under here. Let's say third nav, so you can tell where I'm at. And then what we need to do is, I'm gonna set the width to 100 viewport width. And then I want white space to be no wrap, because if you don't put this, your little text, if you have like way longer nav items, like about section or like contact us, or but something like super crazy long, it's gonna wrap and it's just gonna look terrible. And then let me see if we need to add anything else. On the nav btn right here, let's do so let me do command again, third nav. Oh no, okay. And then let's do justify content flex end, and then I want to set the width to 100 viewport width. And I believe, yeah, let me try this first and let's see if that worked. Going out, and boom. So you can see here that the button essentially flexed end, so all the way to the end, and then it shifts over, and then when I shrink it back, you can close. And also if I were to like do background red, you can essentially see the like the width is right here, so you can see it's shrinking as it goes. And then if I did this no wrap, uncommented this out, see that ugliness? We don't want that, so that's what that's for. And then let me just comment this out here. And again, see how simple it was to just create 3 variations and with minimal refactoring to the code. So this also, again, this works here. So again, this is the React Navbar 3 variation tutorial. So if you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. I'm just documenting myself learning code, building things, sharing it with you guys out there. And comment down below any suggestions to refactor this, or if you have any improvements, or even a cooler nav that I have never seen before, let me know. Send me that link. And also check out the React website video I made with the little drop down nav menu for mobile view if you want to check that out. But aside from that, I will catch you in the next video. Peace.